Right, and but in addition to the banking, which is the main thing, of course, that's what holds this whole thing together. There's also the element of a fanatical anti-human ideology. That is to say, as you quoted before, a baby is a carbon machine. That is, a human being is nothing but a source of carbon pollution. I mean, that gets you into the area of high crimes against humanity, the Nuremberg Code, and all the issues of...
well, did you see the other environmental minister in England say, your water footprint's too big, and so we're going to restrict everybody's water, when everybody knows England is one of the most water-rich countries in the world, and have never even charged people for their water usage, because it's such a wet isle. Well, here's a microcosm. 8 years ago, Enron documents came out later. They, in some days, would make $1 billion in overcharging. They had fake energy trading boards. They would show the congressmen that would come through on tours. And they said in their memos, we've got to double and triple prices just to have profits. So we will turn the power off an hour a day to create the illusion of artificial scarcity, so they'll accept the jacking up of prices. And now they're doing that with water in California. The environmental groups have shut off all the reservoirs for, some fish or darter, some made-up snail, some kangaroo rat. And listen, I've been to smart growth conferences, Webster. They brag there it's a scam. I would even call them fanatics. These are just criminals.
Absolutely. But it's an anti-human ideology, and I think people have got to get down to very basic things. Are you in favor of human civilization and human society? Yes or no? If the answer is yes, then other things become less important. But if you really think that human society has to be run for the alleged benefit of polar bears, snail darters, horned owls, and indeed wolves, or God knows what, sharks even, then you've really put yourself beyond the pale, and you're in the area of the Nuremberg Code, because to deny any population group essential food, shelter, clothing, medical care, this is a high crime against humanity. This was the issue at Nuremberg in 1945. And
now the UN has said they will vote for caribou and roaches, and so it's really about people outvoting the general public, saying they represent animals. Meanwhile, there's all sorts of real environmental degradation that they use the phony environmental movement as a smokescreen for.
Yeah, naturally, questions of pollution, of course, are real, and they're questions of real toxic pollution in many parts of the world, including in the U.S. But the question of clean water and clean air for human beings is not what these people are about. They're essentially about the idea of turning the clock back to the Dark Ages.
They say neo-feudalism, serfdom, and Tarpley's done his separate research, found the same findings. I've done separate research, found the findings. Dr. Monteith, this is the truth we're telling you. Final segment with Webster Tarpley, straight ahead. Stay the course. We'll be right back. Infowars.com. Those of us that love freedom, human decency, creativity, honor, we have to stand against the evil, as Thomas Jefferson said, because all that evil men and tyrants need to flourish is that good men and women do nothing. That's why I'm turning the heat up. I'm going to make a whole nother Obama film in the next 2.5 months. It's going to come out July 4th, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you the name of the film next week and details. I've already written the film, collating the latest data into it. Get the Obama deception today. The Obama deception, Webster, I want to close the show out here because on the phone you've just been ranting and raving about it, and I'm really pleased. You don't usually just hand out compliments like this, and I respect your view. You also consulted and are in the film. And I've heard your own radio show a few Saturdays ago. You were going over it. In the last few minutes, how important is the Obama deception? How effective? Because it doesn't come from a left wing or right wing. It shows the big picture, as you called it, reality-based information, which is so rare today. How effective is the film? How should it be used? What should people be doing, mobilizing with the Obama deception, and then passing along your books as well as documentation?
Well, again, it's a masterpiece. It's the best political documentary to come out of the United States in, decades, I guess. And right now, it's also timely. In other words, this is the moment to lose these illusions, because you've got these opinion leaders, right, the various Krugman's, Galbraith's.
And it ties him to the bankers. It shows he's establishment, not anti-establishment.
He is. He's not the New Deal. He's the anti-New Deal. He's not Roosevelt. He's the anti-Roosevelt. He is a puppet of these characters: Blank Fine of Goldman Sachs, Mack of Morgan Stanley, Diamond of J.P. Morgan Chase, Lewis of Bank of America, and
he needs to be attacked by the right wing. That empowers him.
Right. That gives him left cover. In other words, what has changed now is that the crimes of Bush were conducted under right-wing cover. 9/11, War on Terror, Bring It On, all the rest of this nonsense. Now with Obama, it's not any of that. I'm Obama the savior. I'm the Messiah. I have left cover. And for example, he's a much more effective union buster. One of the things he's been talking about lately is busting the teachers union here in Washington D.C., in New York and Chicago. He's got this union buster, Arnie Duncan, as Secretary of Education. That guy's going to try to destroy every teachers union in the U.S. because they're determined.
Well, this is what corporate looters do. All their new taxes are going to destroy the real economy, the middle class. The bankers know that. They want a fire sale. They want, just like they go into corporations and use naked shorts to drive them down to buy them up. These guys are piratical wreckers.
Right, and of course, the idea is that they're well advanced into destroying the UAW. So we're going to go from the traditional American economy is a high-wage economy, and that's exactly what you want. Skilled labor, high quality, high value-added, energy-intensive,
complex economy. Well, in closing, specifically, what should folks do with the Obama deception?
Well, obviously, buy it, distribute it according to the conditions of sale, right, and get it out. And try to build this into a backlash, because Obama's getting bogged down. I wanted to mention the Group of 20 next week, right? There's the summit of the Group of 20. It's time to ban derivatives, to shut down the zombie banks, and to deprive Obama of his left cover. The thing that occurred to me, Alex, is we have the Cannes Film Festival, the Venice Film Festival, the Berlin Film Festival, with the Golden Palm, the Golden Lion, the Golden Bear, and I'm sure other parts of the world too. It seems to me that this has a world dimension. In other words, there's a world market.
Yes, the film is going out worldwide. Obama. Webster, we're out of time, but Webster's going to be in studio with me this Sunday evening in town for the second Obama film here with shooting, and in studio Monday co-hosting with me before he goes back to D.C. So, Webster, I will see you this weekend, my friend.
Congratulations again on the Obama deception, and everybody should buy it.
Thank you, Webster. Let me say bye to you as the show ends. Retransmission with a ton of guests starts right now. The mass grave stories, how we open the show. Stay with us.